So most of let me pause this. Most of the people on my Facebook are people that are in what's it called? Have autoimmune disorders. Like either they got lupus, they got and that's I don't have lupus, but I have multiple sclerosis, or they got multiple sclerosis. Um, and I basically, you know, I was just um needing to see what is multiple sclerosis, what is autoimmune disease. Okay, so that's why I felt like I just needed to friend um, all the people with lupus and all the people with multiple sclerosis. So I learned a lot though, and I had to learn a lot to see, just what is this disease? Um, how can how can I combat it? So I don't take the chemotherapy, which is what um, the medicine for um, like multiple sclerosis. They basically give you chemotherapy drugs to stop your immune system from attacking itself or attacking your body. You know, breaking down the myelin sheaths and just basically attacking the nerves. So, um, when I figured that out, and it wasn't when I figured that out. Uh, basically, um, I saw that the chemotherapy drugs was doing worse for the women and men that have multiple sclerosis than better. And I learned that by looking at all the people in the groups. This one woman, I like I said, I've been friends with her for about 2 years, and um, at the time I was just starting uh, Dr. Sabi's diet. So I would try to encourage her and tell her just drink more water. You know, I offered her some herbs, but I don't think she just really wanted it. Um, so over a 2 year span, I watched, the woman taking the chemotherapy drugs. I watched her go from having a bladder to having to have her bladder removed. And then, after her bladder was removed, then they, I think they accidentally put uh, a body part on her small intestines. So she had to go and have that surgery. Then, um, the surgeries that got infected. So then she had to go back to the hospital. And I mean, the hospital visits that this woman has had to take is over 10, I think. You know, just always, always, always in and out of the hospital. With a port. They had to put a port in her body because a lot of well, her multiple sclerosis, she couldn't have her blood drawn anymore, which is a common symptom. I had that symptom too, where something was just wrong and they couldn't draw blood out of your um, arm with the needle. So she had to have a port put in her neck, and then uh, the port got infected. This was during the coronavirus time. So then she was treated so bad because they would not, none of the nurses would help her because they were afraid of getting corona. Okay, so now recently she is basically going blind. Okay. Um, walk with a cane. It's multiple sclerosis is bad. Okay. It could take your life away. You can actually die of multiple sclerosis. Um, so, also with the coronavirus, I watched so many. No, okay. I watched people with multiple sclerosis that got the vaccine that just fell out. One guy, um, he, he got paralyzed again. He was back in a wheelchair, and he worked hard to get out of that wheelchair. But taking the vaccination put him right back in that wheelchair. Right? This one girl, Jazzy, but um, and I gave her some herbs. I sent them to her. I hope she took them. But Jazzy had really bad side effect from the coronavirus vaccine. Now it's bad. Um, she just started experiencing um, burning. Her skin was burning, and I do not know why, but um, her hand got twisted, her leg got twisted in unusual ways. Um, she lost so much weight. Okay, that's what can happen to you if you take the chemotherapy. That is really the only thing they have for multiple sclerosis, is to hope they can stop uh, the body from attacking itself. So, um, I think Jazzy's in a wheelchair now. She was walking before, and she was in a cane. Uh, and then she had to start using a cane. And am I saying this woman? I hope I didn't say her name. I'm gonna mute that out. But yeah, so that's why I made all my friends um, were people that suffered from this disease, so I could learn what to do, what not to do. Um, what should I expect? So right now I take herbs. Now before I was very vigilant. I was very good in doing the Dr. Savy diet. I followed everything. Um, then I just I had or we had death in the family, and I think that really threw us off, and it was hard for me to focus on taking care of myself every day. And so slowly I stopped doing the things that were working. Um, so right now I'm trying to get back on track. Um, you know, get back on track, start making my herbs again, because even though I fell off, I'm doing very good because I'm doing very good. I don't have kidney or bladder infections, which is um, that's where I was headed while I was taking all the medicines for multiple sclerosis, not the chemo, but pain medicine and stuff like that. My bladder, I couldn't even use my bladder. So, now that's regular. Um, I've stopped choking because I would choke for no good reason on spit or something. But I would choke. Uh, I'm able to put my clothes on. I wasn't able to do that before. I'm no longer paralyzed in my left side. What else was wrong with me? I basically getting paralyzed in my left side is how I got my left leg. That's how I got diagnosed in the first place. Oh, the nurses are able to draw my blood. Like my doctor, when I go to get blood drawn, they can actually draw it out. Before, when I went to the doctor, they were not able to draw my blood. And, like I said, that right there, um, will have you get a port, like a hole in your chest or neck or somewhere like that, so that they can put the medicine in you or draw your blood. So these things I'm very grateful for, that I do not have any of these problems. I can see. I can see. And this is how I know I was falling off, because uh, my vision started getting blurry, and I knew I had to take action. I was like, this is serious. This right here is what I don't want, because I'd easily go blind. So yeah, I my vision's cleared up within days of adhering closer to what Dr. Sabi said to do. You know, before I was really, really good, and I didn't have any problems. Um, so now I've got to get back on track, and you know, get my focus back and things like that. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself. At this point, after seeing all of the different MS and lupus patients, um, I'll I'll put my money on myself to keep myself out of a wheelchair and from being blinded, or all the other terrible things that can happen. Yeah, I put my money on myself, and not only that, but I studied and I showed myself approved, and that matters. I studied to show myself approved. So that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for listening.